In this presentation, we're going to teach you how to get the most leads and sales from your digital business card. This will be a complete walkthrough training, and I promise you will respect your time. Now, here's exactly what you can expect from the short training lesson. The first thing is we're going to talk about the headshot that you need to have for your business card and why the right headshot is key. We're going to go into detail with the branding and the colors that you use on your business card. We're going to talk about what you need to emphasize what's called the CTA. Now, CTA is short for call to action. Then we're going to talk about why less is more when it comes to your digital business card. Then we're going to do an entire live walkthrough where I'm going to set up the card with you. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the additional features that you can turn on, and that's where you'll see the real power of what you can do with the digital business card. Now, when we're done with the short training, you'll be able to set up your card and you'll be ready to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in. The first thing is the right headshot is key, and this is your first impression. It's very important. And so if you look at this person here, this picture, this is a bad headshot. She's not looking towards the camera. We're distracted by the plate that she has in her hand. And we've seen clients that do this where they have a guitar in their hand or they'll have a clipboard or something like that. Instead, what you want to have is you want to really have a straight-on headshot where you're clearly looking into the camera and you're dressed to kill. This is your first impression, and so you want to make sure that you're smiling. You want to make sure that you're wearing colors, that you instill trust. You want to make sure that's memorable, and you want to only do this once. You only have to have $1 million shot, a shot that you're not only going to be able to use for your business card, but you're also going to be able to use for all your branding and for all your marketing. So let's take a quick look at this. The good headshot versus the bad headshot. There are branding strategists that will tell you that a power shot is looking away from the camera. I'm here to tell you that you want to look directly into the eyes of your prospect. You can tell a lot by looking into the eyes. So please take the time to go out there and get the $1 million headshot. What I recommend is that you find a photographer in the local area. What you can do is you can open up Google and you can do a search for female power shots or male power shots, and you'll find images that you resonate with. What you want to do is this. You want to take somebody with you when you go do this power shoot so that they can position your hands, so they can help you with your jewelry or help you put on your watch or position your French cuffs and have them in a certain place. All these little details make sense when you want to get this $1 million power shot. Next, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the magic that you can do to make your headshot memorable. So if we take the same power shot here, this is before the magic. And what we want to do is this. We don't want to have a white background. We don't want to have a black background. Instead, what we want to be able to do is something like this. Now, obviously, this young lady was not in front of a window. She was not in front of a bridge when the shot was taken. So how do we do this? Well, what you're able to do is you're actually able to remove that background, and then you're able to replace it with an image. Now, the good news is that this isn't something that you need to do. You don't need to learn about graphics or visual editing or anything else. Instead, you let the experts do the job and you focus on your business. Now, and so I'm going to give you 2 resources that you can use to create those beautiful custom headshots for less than the cost of a latte. The first one is there's a website that's called unsplash.com. What you want to do is you want to go through Unsplash and find the background images of your choice. You can find the blurry city backgrounds. You can have a background with an office or with flowers or mountains or rivers or whatever else it is that you choose. The best part is with these backgrounds, they're all very high res backgrounds. They're huge. You can make a billboard out of them and they're free. You're not going to have to pay a single dime. Now, once you have your background, you're going to want to go to a site called Fiverr. So here you're going to send your headshot that you have done as well as your background. They're going to charge you anywhere from $5 to $10 on Fiverr, and they're going to replace your white background or your green background or black background with the background that you choose. Now, for some reason, if you don't know which background to use, then simply communicate with your editor on Fiverr and tell them, look, here, this is what I do in my business. I work in an office, or I'm a real estate agent, or I'm a travel agent. Whatever the case may be, and let them choose the background for you because they're the experts. So you want to write down these two resources. Number one, unsplash.com, where you can find your backgrounds, and number two, Fiverr, is where you're going to find a graphic artist that's going to knock out your background and replace it with a background of your choice, or let them choose the background for you. Now, what we're going to do is look at the branding that we use with our colors. Now, there's a very simple rule to this. That is that you should not use more than two colors. More than two colors becomes chaos. It becomes busy. It's unprofessional. So if we look at this mock-up here, you can see that it pops. There are two primary colors. The first one is black and the second one is red. Now, when you're creating your icons and your buttons, you want to make sure that you use the exact color code that you have in your mock-up. This is what is going to be in your power shot. So if you're wearing a blue suit, you want to have that exact blue. In this mock-up here, she's wearing red. So you want to use the exact red. I'll show you where we've done that once I place the icons on the screen. So I'm going to recommend a tool to you that I want you to download. It's called an eyedropper tool. With the eyedropper tool, I'm able to get the exact color code that's used in this red, so that when I put my buttons on the screen, or I put my icons on the screen, I'm using the exact red color. So I take my eyedropper, I place it right there on that red, and it's going to give me the exact color code. I can use that color. I can use that color code throughout my entire branding and all my marketing. If you're a window user, the eyedropper that I recommend is called Instant Eyedropper. So you can just go to instant-eyedropper.com. Now, if you are an Apple user, there's an alternative that's called Just Color Picker. You can go to justcolorpicker.com, and so again, these tools are free. They're going to give you the exact color code you need so you look like $1,000,000. Now, let's talk about your CTA, also known as your call to action. You definitely need to know what your call to action is. Now, if I have to define the CTA or the call to action, I would simply say, what is your goal for anybody that's looking at your business card? Now, this is also known as your call to action. So let's look at some of what these basic call to actions might be. Now, the first one might be where they obviously call you. If you're looking at the mock-up here on the screen, we have buttons that say call me. Now, they can text me, they can email me, they can visit my site, or they could just visit any of your social media properties. I'll show you these icons here in just a minute. They could visit LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram. Now, what we really have are some advanced bits that we call in our call to actions as well. This is where you really get to start to make profits in your business. And this is where you can download your V card. This is where they'll be able to add your contact information into their phone directory immediately. They could also make an appointment with you. So yes, there could be a button on the screen that says make appointment. They could take a survey. They can fill out an application. There's so much more that they can do with these advanced call to actions. Now we'll talk about those more in just a minute. Now the main takeaway here is that you not only understand what your calls to action need to be, but you also make a way to make them pop. In my mock-up here, she's wearing red, and therefore I have black buttons that are popping off her suit. Had I chosen a red button, it would have blended in with her suit, and then most people would not have seen it, and it certainly would not be an emphasized call to action. Now, it's certainly important for you to understand that there are a lot of features that you can turn on with your card. You don't need to turn on everything. As a matter of fact, now that you understand what your core call to action is, you also need to understand that less is more. So let's take a look at the options available. Now, the first thing is you can turn on and off your name and title. You can turn on and off your page icons. Your small icons. You can also do the buttons below. Now, I'm going to show you what all of these mean, but just understand that you really don't want to have all these things turn on at one time because your card is going to look busy. It's going to confuse your main call to action. Your prospect is not going to know what to do. Remember, we have a simple goal, and that's to get them to call you, to get them to email us, to get them to visit our site, whatever the case may be. We have to focus on that goal. Don't confuse the prospect. Remember the goal. Remember the call to action because a confused mind doesn't take action at all. Instead, your prospect will leave without doing a thing. Now let's take a look at the options available on your card. Now look at the mock-up that I have here. It's a very simple, basic, but it's also powerful. We have the $1 Million Power Shot. And then you see that we have the buttons where the call to actions are right there on the Power Shot. Now, even though it's very simple, it's very powerful, and this is what most people prefer to have when they set up their card. Now, let's go ahead and look and see about adding the name and title. So now you see her name, which is Melissa Davis, her title, which is social media expert, and we have still our call to action, which is there on the buttons. We also have the name and title combined with the buttons. This is the second choice that most people prefer to have. It's also powerful as well. Now let's go ahead and add the small icons to the card. So if you look here at the bottom, you'll see that there's a row that has 6 icons. So I'm able to deploy 6 icons in this row. As you can see, I can deploy all my social media properties. I could have my phone number there to have them call me, text me, or I can have them even visit my website. Now this bar that's displayed on the top can be displayed on the top or bottom of the card. It's really completely up to you. Now we're going to add what are called page icons to the card. So if you look here, these icons are actually on the Power Shot itself. You decide which of these icons you want to display there. You can have up to 6 icons on your card. These page icons can be displayed on the right or on the left. You can display 3 icons on the left on each side. Now you can start to notice that our card is really getting busy. And this may be the reason why you don't want to display or deploy everything all at one time. Now, we've made this process really easy. As a matter of fact, these icons and buttons can be turned on and off with the flip of a switch. Now, I'm going to show you this in a minute. But if you look at the screenshot, we have this box that says Layout Settings. So if I want to turn it on and off my name and the title bar, I just flip a switch. If I want to turn off my small icons, I flip a switch. If I want to turn off my page icons, you guessed it, I just flip a switch. Simple little steps for you to manage and modify your business card on the fly. So you're simply going to load your image, you're going to put in your name and title, you're going to fill out your links such as your social media links, your phone number, your numbers where where they can text you, and even your website. And then you're going to flip switches on and off so they can change your cards on the fly, and you're going to be able to really do this very quickly. Now, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to go ahead and have a live demo. You should be able to access your details with your administration. If you have a problem, check your email so that you can ensure that you are ready to go and follow along with what we're doing at this point in time. Now, what I want to do is show you the beautiful and responsive surveys that I was talking to you about in that demo. So here are the screenshots from actual real-life surveys that we have working for us. You can see the beautiful one here on the left is what that survey looks like on a laptop or desktop. It's beautiful. Here on the right side, you can see this one and what the view is, what would be on a mobile device. It's going to work for Android, and it's also going to work for Apple. The survey is what you're going to use to determine how you should market your prospects. You're going to be able to find out what they think of your products or your services, what they think of your restaurant, or what do they think of your coffee. There's so many purposes for why you should have that survey, but a survey can also lead to a sale as well. Next, we have something that's called an application. Now, an application is a little bit different than a survey. An application means business, and usually when someone fills out an application, they're going to enroll in one of your products for your services, which means they're filling out your application and they know they're going to be paying you something. Over here on the left, you can see that this is what the application looks like on a laptop or desktop, and over here on the right, that's what the application looks like on a mobile device, again, Android or Apple. And the last thing I want to show you, I want you to show your appointment schedule and what it will look like. On the left, this is what your appointment schedule will look like on a laptop or desktop. When your prospect opens up your appointments, they see the available slots that you have available, and they're going to go ahead and lock in a date or time. You get notified and they get notified of the date and time. Then you will simply have that appointment with them at that specific time. Over here on the right, you can see that your appointment scheduler and what it will look like on a mobile device. And you guessed it, Apple as well as Android. Now, let's look at how your business card is set up. You have that opportunity to unleash real power, and all you need to do is click the link inside of your admin account. We have different specials and promotions going on all the time. And so what you'll be able to do is, with your prospects, you'll be able to download your V card right from your digital business card. Now they'll be able to make an appointment from your business card from your own appointment scheduling system. They'll be able to take a survey from your business card. They'll be able to fill out an application and so much more. Now this is the real power that we have with our digital business cards. Now once you've got this set up with your own digital business card, what you have to understand is that you are on the start of something great. You see, we have an all-inclusive marketing system. With our system, you're able to build an internal lead generation pages, such as landing pages, where the goal is to get the names, email, and phone number. You have applications, surveys, appointments, and so much more. Now, before I let you go, I want to remind you that you also have an app that came with your digital business card. With that app, you're able to send out your digital business card. When you meet somebody, you simply grab their name and their phone number, and it will automatically send a message telling them to download your card. The best part, though, is it also keeps track of everybody that you've sent a card to. That way you don't lose track where you've met somebody. The app will keep track for you. There are so many more features that we could turn on inside that app. You see this app allows you to stay on top of everything happening with your leads. You're able to call, text, and email. You're able to have hot lead notifications. You have a complete user database. You have what I call a mobile sales pipeline. You can do personal appointments. You have daily tasks. You're able to go ahead and send out your digital business card and so much more. Now this here is another one of our pro features for right now, but I want you to start playing with your app so you can start to send out your business card to the people you need. So on that note, this is where I'm going to conclude this presentation. Now you know how to go out there and get that $1 million power shot. You know about the colors and the branding that you need to set up with your card. You know how to set up your actual card and flip the switches. You know that you have to have the ability, you now have the ability to deploy surveys, applications, appointments with our pro system. There are so many other features available once you get ready to rock and roll. Now, I encourage you to reach out to us with the number here on the screen. We're ready to help you with all of your marketing needs when it comes to systems, automations, and processes and advertising. But we're also here to make sure that you get set up with your digital business card. So if you have any questions at all during this presentation, please reach out to the number here on the screen And on that note, go get set up with your business card, and we look forward to hearing from you real soon. Take care.